So I started powerlifting. So take it back. I started working out in '96. Ended up moving to Abilene, working for Power Shack Gym over there. Man named Ken Lane owned it. He was an 11-time world record bench presser, right? Big dude. And he was like, why don't you try to powerlift? And I was like, nah, I don't know if I really like that or not, whatever. So he put on this little bench press competition, and I did it, and wasn't very strong. Like, some girl that probably shouldn't have beat me totally beat me, like kicked my ass, and I was like, F this shit. I'm a little competitive like that. So
time to get serious.
I know, yeah, exactly, right? So I started training more on the, not like a power lifter, because I still wanted to bodybuild, right? And for me, it was, I think that what, like, doing powerlifting at the same time really was kind of a cool addition to the bodybuilding, because it builds muscle density, right?
Yeah.
So everything,
like Ronnie Coleman
just,
style.
Right, exactly.
it looks different, right? But it is a lot of wear and tear on the human body. It is rough on your joints.
That's like, and that's exactly what we were kind of talking about before we got back started. You know, obviously what I do for a living, so like I wanted to talk to you about, like, back then, between being a bodybuilder and powerlifting. What was your approach to injury? Were you more like, yo, I'm just gonna train around it and just figure it out, or like, what your recovery process?
I got really lucky and hardly ever had any injuries.
Oh yeah, see, you're like, that's the Texas Titan in you.
But I also always trained. So my deal was, I'm very OCD about stuff. You know, if say I'm training a client and I don't know, they're doing a pull down and their elbow is slightly back, I see that elbow is slightly back and then it needs to be straight up and down. If not, it'll, you know, target more upper back instead of lat. Well, when I started training, there was a lot of things that I did where I wasn't really taught all the detailed stuff, but when I felt something, I realized, okay, my arm is at this angle, or my hand is doing this, or something as simple as like a pull down where you're not wrapping your whole hand around the bar. You're literally, thumb is out, this finger is just relaxed on top, and you're really just pulling with these 3 fingers. Like, I never knew that I really did that. It's just something that I did, and I happened to be watching some Seth Feroce video a couple years ago, and he was talking about pulling with these 3 fingers.
Yeah, I blew that pistol grip up like crazy.
Dude, but like, I had always done it, right? I just don't hold my fingers up, ever, because that's, yeah, I mean, you can, it's cool. Especially if you went to school at like Texas Tech or something. That'd be cool. But anyway, so always mine just kind of rests on top, and then this one's just.
Is that just making that mind-muscle connection early on? Learning your body like that?
I think that for me, it was all about the details, and that mind-muscle connection is not something I ever really actively thought about. Which I know that they talk about it, blah blah blah. And I think for some people, it's very good to, like, stay on that topic with people so that they understand what's going on. For me, it was just all about feeling it where I was supposed to, period, and feeling it the most. So if that body part was being worked and it got pumped and the next day it was sore already, I'm doing good, right? So, you know, for me, as far as injury prevention or injury, you know, we always warmed up a lot. So say like leg press, right? Say I'm going to use, I don't know, 8 plates on each side. Well, I'm doing 1 plate for 15. I'm doing 2 plates for 15, 3 plates, 4 plates. And I might not start even counting sets until I'm at 5 or 6 plates. If it's not heavy, it shouldn't be a set. So there's a lot of warm-ups that go into it. The same for like a dumbbell press or barbell curls or whatever. Proper warm-up was a huge big deal. I'd never stretched, so don't use me as an example with that, but I never did. but big warm-ups, and I know my body so well that, and I was so OCD about form that, like, just say for instance I'm doing flat dumbbell presses, right? And I know that last one I got, say number 7, but I was trying to go for 10. Number 7 was a little bit sketchy, and I can get 8. To grow, you really need a workout partner to help you with, say, you go to near failure plus 2 extra reps that you couldn't get on your own, right? So I knew that I could get that 8th one by myself with perfect form, but I knew right when I needed a spot, and I would call for it. And I would be like, I think I got the next 2, and I would go, okay, get me. And then whoever was my workout partner would know to be ready, and don't help me, you just keep the weight moving. That's all I want. Because if you have to struggle, if one side's stronger than the other, and your form breaks, and elbow pops out weird, you know, you're doing something janky, that's when things start to explode, right? For me, I got really lucky, and the only real injury that I can remember was at the powerlifting meet where I set, it's a world record bench press, state record deadlift, and a state record total, I think, or something. Anyway, when I was doing bench press, a rib head popped out, and I pulled the pec. I don't know if it was the pec pulled and then the rib head pulled out or whatever, but anyway, you could like feel that rib head popped out a little bit, and that was really the only thing that ever really happened that felt to me major. Everything else was like, you know, you get a little tweak, and then train smart. You know, if it hurts, don't do it. Don't try to be a hero in the gym, because now you're going to be out 6 weeks instead of 1.
I think that's one of the things that, not just as far as like training, but even with my athletes, with whatever we're doing, it's just like, let's be honest with yourself. We want to push it every day. We want to go hard. We want to know that we left it all there. But if there's things that are bothering you still, we got to know. Like I think one of the really good things about the way that you train is we both have crappy elbows, but because of the volume, it doesn't feel as bad because I'm still getting everything I need out of it. It's just the weight is a little bit lighter so that my elbows feel healthier. I'm not trying to be a skull crusher and do 100 pounds because I know my elbow is gonna really hurt, and it gets on that edge of like injuring myself. So let's just do 1,000 drop sets that Bonnie likes to have us do, and I still, you know, we still get that
crazy pump.
So think about it though, like the human body doesn't know how much something weighs. You know, you see it, and your mind's like, okay, yeah, that weighs, you know, 500 pounds, whatever it is. But your muscles, they don't have a freaking clue. You're just trying to tear them down to build them back up bigger and stronger. So you tear them down in ways that maybe don't feel too healthy, but it's easier on the joints, ligaments, tendons, yada yada, so that you have longevity in this gym, and later on you can maintain what you got or whatever. But a lot of people come in and they're trying to do like triples, quadruples, and stuff like that with this max amount of weight. Really, like when you look at powerlifters, some of them aren't even that big. Some of them are thin. They just happen to be really strong because it becomes more of a joint exercise. They've got really strong tendons and ligaments, that sort of stuff, but the muscle maybe not that strong, or you never did enough to tear it down microscopically to build it back up bigger and stronger.
Fully fatigue it.
Right? So they may be able to bench press triple their body weight, but they're little. They don't look like they could do anything. I mean, I want to be strong, but I also want to look like I'm strong. You know, and I don't really care. I used to get a lot of people ask the question, how much do you lift? Like, what do you mean? Well, what weight? How much do you lift?
All of it?
Like, I mean, everything I can? I don't know. What most people are getting at is how much do you bench press?
what's your max?
So, like, you know, for me, once I stopped bench pressing, I would be just like, I don't know, I don't bench press.
Like, well, I have some state and world records. Is that,
Yeah,
enough?
I know. Just
like,
Google me.
right.
I don't want to explain it, but you know, for the most part, I think that like just training really smart, knowing your body and what you do is going to be different from what I do. Our strengths, I mean, the way the muscles attach, the way the length of the bone is different.
He's a lot taller. His muscle bellies are longer.
Right.
You know, stuff like that.
So even like, you know, I might be the same height as the girl right beside me, but maybe I have longer arms or shorter arms or
denser bones,
whatever.
Even, you know.
Yeah,
I think Arnold talked about it. Is I think if I remember correctly, he was just talking about how the length of his femur made it really difficult for him to squat properly. And I think that like working day in and day out with football players, you know, they've heard all these like cues about, and it's like that doesn't work for you because you are built like I have a kid. I call him. I won't say his name obviously, but I call him the San Angelo Silverback because he's built like a gorilla.
Yeah.
If he ever wanted to transition into powerlifting, I think he'd be a killer because his legs are like this big.
Oh, nice.
and his torso is like.
Yeah.
And he's strong kid.
But you know, everybody's so different. So you really, I think to get the most out of every workout, you need to learn your body almost in an OCD way.
Absolutely.
You know, every aspect of it.
And touching on that too, that's the environment of the gym here, and that's why Leon and I like it so much. Is it's a bodybuilding emphasis because you're a bodybuilder and that's who you are and that's kind of your thing. But every walk of life comes in here. You know, we're a military town, so we got military folks coming through. We have regular cats coming through. You know, dudes like Leon and I just want to get big. We don't want to compete. You know, stuff like that. The older crowd just being fit. So it ties into just that overall fitness type of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Know, so.
And I think too, like when you create, that sounds goofy, but when you create kind of a second home for people, where everybody's welcome and everybody's comfortable. You know, gyms are already like an intimidating place, right?
Oh, yeah.
And most people don't know what the heck they're doing anyway. But when the vibe of the gym is like, and I hate to even use this word, like I'm not going to judge you because there's a lot of places that claim no judgment.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know, if you're coming in and you're working your butt off, I don't care if you're 100 pounds or 400 pounds.
Right.
Respect.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. If you're in the gym getting it in, good on you. You know what I mean? If your form's off, then we'll talk about that because we don't want you to get hurt. But if you're busting your ass, you know, and so that's like, you know, walk into the gym, you got all your trophies everywhere, your Olympia sweatsuits everywhere. It can be intimidating until we talk to you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, okay, that's Aunt Bonnie.
Yeah,
and that's just
exactly.
Aunt Bonnie. She's a crazy trainer. We're gonna go hang out with Aunt Bonnie today. You know, that's just how that's the vibe of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the nice Texas thing, you know, like I'm from the West Coast, they're not as friendly in some places.
Right.
And I'm from New York and
nobody's
not friendly at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, that environment is just really nice to help you build, you know, physically but mentally too. You know, like for me, the gym is a stress reliever. Like, it's for how I take out all of my demons and issues, you know. So that environment is so conducive to positive productivity and a positive mindset. You know, and it all starts with you and the way you operate. And your staff too. Everyone on the staff is just as happy.
Yeah.
So.
I remember back, was it March? I got pretty sick, and I think I spent like 3 weeks out of here, something like that. And I got a text from Bonnie like, "Where are you?"
I dropped him a pin of the gym.
Right.
He didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
texting.
first, exactly. And what was crazy was that like I was starting to feel better, but I also was just kind of in this rut because I had been out, and it wasn't an injury. An injury's different. I felt like I could have did anything, but I just wasn't feeling like myself. But like getting back into it, like that text kind of was like, damn, I do need to be somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this gym is like, it's, you know, I talk about it like this is like my gym family. Like when we come in here, we really like, and I mean it feels good in here. You know what I mean? Like as intense and as crazy as we may get in here sometimes, and like really come in here. And some days I hate coming here because I know what I'm about to do with my body. But at the end of the day, on our way out, it always feels good.
Yeah.
You know?
what's that kind of thing? Like before I started working out with Leon, I always came in with headphones on and I just didn't talk to nobody because that's how I work out when I'm alone. And then I started working out with Leon, and everybody knows him because being an athletic trainer and doing all this. People who've never talked to me are, hey, where's Leon? Where's Leon? Where's Leon? You know, where's your partner, man? What's going on? You okay?
Yeah.
You know, and like I was like, oh man, I really belong here. You know, like I've been here, but now people know. You know, like, oh yeah, that dude's in here all the time busting his ass with the other dude.
Yeah.
You know, so it really just feels so welcoming. You know, and I'm sure it took a while to get there, or maybe it didn't. Maybe that was just the environment all along. But I think it just comes from the community. You know?
And I think a lot of people, like, we all, and I think the members are good this way too, like we have enough respect for whoever's working out that if you've got on headphones, that means to leave you alone. Right? So, like, after the headphones come off, hey, have a good day, or whatever.
Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I have to focus on what I'm doing at that time. You know what I mean? I need to be in the zone. The music gets me going. You know, so.
And I think that a lot of people are that way, so it doesn't matter how young or old, they've got enough respect to leave you alone too. Right. Except for like, are you on this?
Yeah, and I have no problem talking to somebody if they want to talk to me or have questions, or you know, the older crowd are always real excited about these bigger dudes, or not, I mean, I'm not the biggest guy obviously, but we train so hard, lift so heavy that people watch us or want to say, oh man, that's awesome, you know, and so like, yeah, cool, right on, you know. And like there's another guy you got in here, he was like 240 and he's down to 210 now. Visibly noticeable difference. And me and Leon went up to him and was like, hey man, you're killing it, don't stop, like we see you, you know what I mean, like I don't know if you're getting recognition, but you deserve it. You know, if you ever want to mirror us or something, we're here 5 days a week.
And see, that's the cool part about the gym is that when we notice somebody doing something for themselves that's positive like that, somebody is always going to go, hey, I don't know if it's just me, or if you're losing weight but you look like you are, keep going. You know, it just I think that everybody just feels like a big family here, and everybody wants to support each other.
There's never been I think that when I first started working out here, I'm a really, really competitive guy. You know what I mean? Like I have there's certain things that I won't do because I'm so competitive. It's like I don't want to put myself in that position because I feel like I'm gonna look like a psychopath. But what was good about here is that there was still that level of competition. Like I mean, without knowing anybody here, but there still was like a level of like comfort. You know what I mean? Like when I first walked in, which is, I don't know if you remember, but when I walked in here to just check this gym out, you were at the counter. And and like after speaking to you, I was like I looked around, I spoke to you, I was like, all right. I mean, it also helps that this is 4 minutes away from my office, but you know,
But besides,
I mean,
but it was me the whole time.
No, but you know that if I really wanted to, I could just lift at the stadium.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But this place was like very, like you said, just very inviting. Do you think that when you first started this gym, do you think that that's what was this the vision for you when you first started?
20 years later.
I never, as far as a vision goes, I never really thought of the gym as like this hardcore place. I never really wanted that. I just wanted a place for people to come that if you wanted to train and not a social, it's not about coming in, and it's not about like what clothes you're wearing. It's not about you know, that you match, or who you know that you're going to go talk to for the next 30 minutes and then have to leave and you never got a workout in, or you did 2 sets and you started talking or picked up some chick or whatever. I just wanted it to be a place that was serious. And not that it has to be like, we're all serious and you can't have fun. A place that you're serious about working out, you get your workout in, you visit
everybody's
a little
busting
baby.
their ass when you're looking around, you know. It's not a social hour.
Doing their thing. And nobody cares if you're going light, you're going heavy, if your socks match your outfit, whatever. Like
I get a hard time for sneakers. I think you're lying.
I know, we do that. We really judge you. It's okay. It's okay. And he always wears black. So.
Yeah, that's true.
He always matches.
It's slimming.
Yeah. Right? It's true.
But,
black.
No, I just think that I think that was one of the things that, outside of just like wanting to learn about Bonny and just sit down and talking to Bonny, because like you said, we really just respect what you do as a whole, not just the training, not just all your accolades, not just the gym, it's everything as a whole. But I think that it's important. I think that people need to see that there's a place like this that exists.
Absolutely.
There's like, and I think that that's what's also really cool you have literally high school students that have no idea what's going on, and then at one time we have one of the biggest dudes that I've ever seen, like in person, that, like
right.
and like really spoke to and like really had a good conversation, and it's like we're all just in here grinding away and helping each other, because when I remember before I started working out with John, before I even really knew you, I remember Russell was in here on a Saturday because I used to have to lift on Saturday, and you know, I'm talking to him, he's putting me through some of the stuff on like my setup on like the leg press, because I'm so long, I have a little bit of an issue in that thing, but he's such a big guy that it was like it made sense for me to speak to him, and it was no like, oh man, what are you doing? No, he took his time. Grabbed his bag, sat with me, and just really like was like, all right, this is what I think that you need to do, and this is what your setup needs to be.
And I think that all the people that aren't like that, all the people that think they're better than someone else, like I really have a hard time, like I'm not going to be mean to those people, but I have a really hard time with people who treat others like they're better than them, or I'm not saying that there aren't people that like you're better than this person or whatever.
We're all better at something than somebody else, but you don't need to rub our face in it.
Or you're not a better human, right? You're better at this, right? It's like,
you can still be a piece of garbage. You know what I mean? Like you may just lift better like 1 day a week.
So I mean, like sadly we call them douchebags, but there the ones that we do get in here on occasion that are just constant. Checking themselves out, rude, getting like in front of you in the mirror or taking over something they knew you were on, they just don't give a crap. Those kind of people I've never had to worry about kicking out of the gym.
They just disappear. They feel uncomfortable. We don't give them a time of day. We're not acknowledging it. We're just going about our day because we're in here to do something.
This is going to sound silly, and maybe this is just me as a human being, but if you ask me, now this is going to sound silly, and I was just talking to Ray the other day about this, people who are like, do you think I'm fat, or do you think I'm this, or whatever, if a guy comes up to me and is like, I know like, they're not going to say this, but like, do you think I'm pretty? I know a guy's not going to say it, but, or do you think I'm muscular, or do you think whatever, I'm just going to be, well, like, what do you think? Like, how do you feel about yourself? I'm not going to give you a compliment if you ask me for it.
Right.
But if you're working your ass off, I see changes. I'm going to say, damn, I don't know if it matters to you, but I'm freaking proud of you.
Right.
Bye. You know?
Well,
I'll leave you with that.
Yeah.
I'm proud. I'm just proud.
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing.
Right, and I think that goes in back to like the Aunt Bonnie thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like last year when I came in on a day pass, just to check out the gym. First gym's in San Angelo. I happen to live a couple minutes away, so it works. I signed up that day just on the environment, what I saw, being a bodybuilding fan, seeing your accolades on the wall, and being like talking to you, how welcoming you were right away. I was like, yeah. And then like Leon was saying, meeting Russ. Like, that dude's so big. I had gone onto social media to find the gym and follow it and follow other people at the gym and see the like-minded people. And you know, I interrupted his workout one day. I was like, dude, I follow you on Instagram. I've never met you. My name's John. Can I get a picture with you, bro? I posted it on my Instagram, tagged him, and I was like, bro, like, this is really impressive. And he's super welcoming.
Yeah.
And and he's damn near a genius.
Yeah. So like when you see a lot of people that are in here, I mean like Eric Underwood is one who, that is a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're always
really
talking about
is.
his calves. They're bigger than bigger than my head.
So, and he's not as big, he's not quite as big as he was as far as like calves and legs go as he used to be back when he was bodybuilding and stuff.
Imagine.
But his upper body is pretty close to the same.
Yeah.
And
his legs are busting out of his shorts every day.
Yeah. But he's just a nice guy. Now when he trains, he's got earbuds in and he doesn't want to talk to anybody. But everybody respects that too.
And I went over and I interrupted him one time. We ended up talking for 10 minutes. Like, I'm so sorry to interrupt your workout, man. Like, he's like, no, anytime. And I'm like, no, not anytime, because I won't leave.
Yeah, I know, right?
I gotta go, man.
But you know, it's stuff like that even the most serious person training, it you know, even when I was getting ready for shows and stuff like that, if somebody had a question, I'll stop what I'm doing as long as it doesn't take too long. Right. Otherwise, hey, you know, hit me up in a little bit and I'll be through in 30 minutes or whatever.
And a lot of people appreciate that. And that's, I come in after workouts and pick your brain. We talked about the hip circle bands. I went and ordered them that day. You talked about lifting shoes. I went and ordered them that day. I pick your brain. I'm doing research and then I'm implementing it. So that's what it really comes down to is you can ask for all the knowledge you want. Are you going to use that knowledge? Right. Are you going to implement it? You know what I mean? I'm not going to come in here and waste your time asking for
There's
advice.
A lot of people that do.
And then just turn around and say, well, screw you. I'm just going to go do this other thing.
Yeah, which
I'm
is
asking
dumb.
advice
Like,
because
how's that working for you?
It's not.
We have it.
Right.
I mean, we've seen, and not to, again, like, I think that what's really important for us both is that we are just really super regular guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have families, we have, things that are going on for us, but like, we're in here so often that we've had people come and ask us stuff, and we're like, okay, bro, this is what we think, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then,
but you've got enough knowledge to be able to do that, though.
But then also 2 days later, we're looking at him like, bro, why did you even ask me that?
Yeah.
I can't waste my time because I don't have enough, and you don't really want to do what it takes. And again, sometimes I don't feel like doing what it takes.
I know, not every.
But we come in and we do it because our mind won't be right that day if we don't.
Yeah.
We're gonna guilt trip ourselves. Like today, we missed an arm day to do this.
I could have.
We were talking about picking up arm day this weekend or doing something, to make up for it.
And you should, because you never miss arms.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Curls for the girls type of thing.
Right. I thought it was curls before girls.
Oh.
That's how that goes.
Is that it? Oh, I thought it was for girls.
No.
See, we're learning things.
Girls.
Weights before dates,
yes,
stuff like that.
Well, if I'm being honest,
before.
This fitness zone shirt makes my arms look bigger. That's why I'm not training.
It's because it's a
medium. Now we're putting the tag of my shirt in this video. It's an extra large, sir.
I just got into a 2X.
No.
I'm trying to grow into something too.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. That's cute. You're a little extra large. Okay.